The great Emma Jo Morris is here. She is now the politics editor at Breitbart News. But before that, she was the deputy politics editor at the New York Post. She is the person who broke the Hunter Biden laptop story. Emma Jo, how are you?
Hey, thank you for having me.
Before we go to the present and the future, what's next? Let's go back. Let's relive. Take us back to the days of this story breaking. How did it all happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget that press conference, one of the most surreal moments of my life, because, the New York Post had broken this story, and I can get into how I got it. But we had broken this story, and we had done everything we could to verify the authenticity of what we were reporting. We had made calls to the recipients of emails, and we had all sorts of documentation that led us to believe that this is legit, including an FBI subpoena. So we had done everything we could to nail it down. And in that reporting, we didn't make any leaps or any assumptions as to what something might mean. We just said this email exists and this is what it says. But then you have this guy come out, Tony Bobulinski, who was on that email, and he comes out and explains it exactly as we suspected and confirms the story before the world. That primetime press conference, and then he did an interview on Tucker Carlson tonight, and it was just surreal. That was one of the scariest times of my life. I'm not going to lie, my whole career was riding on that story at that point, and if somehow I made a mistake, I would never recover. So personally, it was just it felt surreal. It felt like the ultimate vindication, and thank God, the vindication has just kept coming since then. But the way that I got the story is this story kind of begins actually in 2016 when I moved to New York City. I'm from Montreal, actually. I'm a dual Canadian and American citizen. And I came to New York to work at Hannity, which is my first job out of university. And I made friends with a guy named Vish, not working in politics. He just was conservative and liked politics kind of as a hobby. And we became friends. We had some mutual friends. Anyway, we connected and just got close. And then eventually he did get a job in politics. Finally, he started working for Steve Bannon as his producer at War Room, Steve Bannon's podcast. And then Rudy got the laptop, Bannon got involved because of the China stuff. And my friend was in the background saying, hey, when they were talking about getting it out to the media, he says, my friend just started as deputy politics editor at the New York Post, and she's young, but she'll handle it. And I get a call one day from Steve Bannon, who I didn't know at the time. I'd never met him. And I met him once, actually. There's a photo of us together. I met him once at some Israel event. But anyway, I had never spoken to him really. And he calls me and he says, I have a story that's going to change your life. And I guess history, I mean, it wasn't that easy. And it was a long slog before that story got up, especially, my initial skepticism. I basically hung up the phone on him at first and said, this is some sort of thing that I don't want to be involved in. And it took some kind of courting me. And then once I had seen it for the first time, I said to myself, this is going to change my life. I have to do this story.
Hey, if you like that clip, that was just a snippet of, I think, the most incredible special that we've ever done. Just unbelievable, mind-blowing, breaking information about the Biden crime family. Stuff I've never heard before. I do this stuff for a living. Incredible stuff that's just not getting out there. You can go to thefirsttv.com/Biden to watch the full special, thefirsttv.com/Biden. And if you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, please subscribe for more truth every day.